Welcome to another video for Global Scholarship for International Students, and today we'll be looking at the additional video guide for Japanese government scholarship, which are commonly known as MEXT scholarship. And since we looked at international undergraduate, we're going to look at international graduates application process. It is mostly the same, but there is an additional step that you need to do. So we're just going to look over that really quickly so that we can finish our video series for MEXT scholarship. So applying for MEXT scholarship is going to be the same application procedure for undergraduate. You want to fill out the required application form, pass the first screening, take English and Japanese proficiency tests, and do an interview at the Japanese embassy. So the little step that is different from graduate application from undergraduate application is that for graduates, you need to turn in a quick summary of what you're going to do, what your goal is, and what is your research. What did you do for your previous research, I guess. You're going to turn that in to the Japanese embassy before you do an interview. And other than that, you're going to pass the preliminary screening. After turning in all your documents, you're going to go through the immigration procedure for visa and everything else. And also, you're going to apply for a letter of acceptance from a Japanese university, and you need to go to Japan. So, one thing that I need to clarify is that this is not 100%. If you apply, you don't. It is not 100% guaranteed, but there is a higher chance that you would be received into the graduate program, and I will tell you the reason why when we go through the application procedure. So we're gonna exit our presentation and go to the Google search engine, and I first searched for MEXT scholarship first, and if you plug in MEXT scholarship, you're gonna go to the Japanese government scholarship. Study from www.studyjapan.go, and after that you're going to look at types of government scholarship. As you can see, this is a graduate school level. There are two, teacher training student and research student, but we're going to closely look at research student instead of teacher training student because you're coming in for research, so most international students will be coming as a research student. Eligibility requirement, you have to do university or college graduate, so you have to get your undergraduate degree. Age limit under 35, duration maximum of 2 years including Japanese language training. And preliminary Japanese training, instead of 1 year for undergraduate, you get to have 6 months. And fields of study, majors, designated country worldwide. And as I have said, there is an increased chance of you receiving a graduate scholarship because for undergraduate, it says 460 people. But for graduate, it's times 10. It's 4,042 people. So there's an increased number of people needed for graduate study, and that's why they are increasing the number by 10. So there is a higher chance of you getting accepted to MEXT scholarship as a research student for the graduate program. Tuition, full tuition, embassy recommendation, university recommendation, local acceptance. This is for Japanese living, international students living in Japan. So this does not apply for international students living outside of Japan. And for research student, you need to have Japanese and English examination, language proficiency. So we're going to look back. And eligibility requirement we already gone over for graduate, which is getting a undergraduate degree and being an age under 35. So as you can see, embassy recommendation. You need to turn in the list of required documents. We're going to go over that really quickly, but you need to first look at the location of the embassy located in your country. So if you click on the first one, if you click on wherever that you're living, there is an embassy of Japan. And if you click on the Embassy of Japan, it will go to the Embassy of Japan homepage. and you need to either mail it to this address or you need to take it personally to that address and deliver it. I would personally deliver it if it's not too far, because for safety reasons, and also you want to make sure that your documents get delivered and on time. So that is my recommendation. So if you have any questions or comments, you can click on contact us under the Embassy of Japan and just email them for further information regarding the scholarship if you have any questions after watching this video. So first, the embassy recommendation, and we're just going to go through that quickly. So for the application forms that you need to turn in, I searched MEXT application form graduates. I already searched for that. So if you look at that, you're going to click on the first one. So if you click on the first one, it's going to lead you to this page. I'm going to refresh it. So you're going to lead you to this page. And this is the same as this one. So, application guidelines, Japanese government scholarship for 2019 as a research student. So it has a definition of research student and it has a field of study. So qualifications and conditions for research student, nationality, it needs to be in a country that has diplomatic relations with Japan, and age, it must be born on or after April 2nd, 1984. An academic background, you need to have at least a master's degree course or a doctoral degree course. You need to satisfy qualification requirements for Japanese graduate school, and any one of the following eligibility criteria. So you need to have a graduate degree, 16 years of school education. That probably includes from your first grade to 12th grade, and then 4 more years of college to finish the 16 years of school. And you need to show yourself qualified, academically qualified for the graduate program. And there's many phases, I guess. This is the first phase. They check if you did all this, and in the second phase they check again. In the third phase, you need to do additional requirements if you're applying for faculty of medicine, dentistry, veterinary sciences, and certain pharmaceutical programs. So as you can see, this is the same for undergraduate programs. Applicants must be willing to learn Japanese. And health, you need to be in a good health arrival in Japan. As you can see, there is 2 terms that you can apply for, which is an April term and one is October term. Visa requirement and non-eligibility. So look closely through this requirements, but we're going to go quickly for the application's sake. And period of scholarship for regular students enrolled in master's, doctoral, or professional graduate courses. So if you're doing a regular course, which is you need to spend 6 months preparatory education period to learn Japanese. You need to do that, but if you do not require that, you're going to go to non-regular student, but most international students will go to regular students enrolled in master's, doctoral, professional graduate courses because we need to learn Japanese. Okay, students, extension of period of scholarship. And after looking at that, we're gonna just go to the scholarship benefits, which is allowance. You get 143,000 yen per month, and so you receive a different amount of scholarship for if you're doing preparatory courses or not. and education fees. So everything will be paid for, and you get additional allowance. Even your traveling expenses will be covered, and there's a requirement and additional guidelines for your transportation. And also, it's a round trip transportation to Japan and transportation from Japan will be covered by the scholarship. So there is a suspension of payment of scholarship. Don't do any of these things down below because it will stop your scholarship and it will require you to return to your country. So it has first screening. So first screening is just they're checking your documents to make sure it's official, and also written examination of language proficiency for English and Japanese would be also required. And there is an examination of submitted application documents, or they're going to look at your documents. They're going to examine your language proficiency, and there's also an interview. So they're not gonna ask really hard questions. They're probably gonna ask it in English, but if your major requires really good understanding of Japanese, they're gonna test that in the interview. So make sure you prepare yourself thoroughly. And also, it has the application procedure. So application form, placement preference form. It also has how many copies that you need to have, 1 original, 2 copies. So you need to be aware of this requirements that you need to do. And this is all the required documents that you need to do. And acquisition of admissions letter. So applicants who have passed the first screening, you need to contact Japanese university to receive that letter of acceptance. But I'm just gonna go over it, just the top of it. I'm just gonna skim through it because this is not the most thing that you need to worry about. You need to worry about turning in your application form most accurately, and also to turn it in on time. So as you can see, this is second screening and university placement. You're going to go through the first screening, and you're going to go through the second screening, and you're going to be placed in a university to begin your education. Okay, so there are additional notes down below, so make sure you read through it carefully, but this is the end for MEXT application form. That is the first step and the most important because Japanese are very picky about documents. So you need to make sure it's official. Make sure you show the same respect that they would show to their teachers. Be respectful and always submit the accurate documents. Check and check again. Make sure you have fulfilled all the requirements for the first step. And if you do all that, you're going to go through the next step and the next step and the final step, which is going to Japan and receiving the scholarship. I hope this helps, and this is the end for MEXT Scholarship graduate application process, and I'll see you in the next video.